Hi, it's Linda again with Sermonette on the Mount Ockham. This is my lovely sunroom and it's very nice. I've enjoyed it so much and I wanted you to be a part of my Mount Ockham. Today is my 37th or our 37th wedding anniversary. Yep, today, July 27th. 37 years ago, Tom and I got married. It was a very interesting experience because I had been married before, and I mean, I had a big wedding. I mean, I had the big dress, all the people. It was a big church wedding. It lasted 6 months. Okay, I get married by my husband now, Tom at the time, of course, picking me up at the job that I was at in Sacramento, drove us over to the county courthouse on his chopper, not just a motorcycle. A chopper has a big 3-foot out there with the tire, and he's like this. Okay, so that was back in the day, 1989, in the 1900s, 1989. Picks me up at my work, takes me to the county courthouse. We get married with a couple of vows. We went over to the Capitol Park, had a hot dog and a Coke, because it was lunchtime, and he drove me back over to work and dropped me off. That was my wedding day, 37 years ago. Then a week later, we actually had a ceremony so that we could invite our friends and family, and we did it in our backyard when we lived in Alberta. That was our wedding day. One of the things that Tom and I talked about, and we talked about a lot, we said, let's look back on our life and see the things that we did. I mean, it was so cool to remember all the things. I bet you can too. Remembered all the lives that were touched, all the people that we connected with, all the things that we did, all the places we went. But one thing is for sure. One thing, and I put it on my Facebook page, and I put it this way, because Tom and I talked about it, and we look at each other constantly, because throughout the years I would hear people say, man, marriage is so hard, you have to work at it. I don't know how many marital counselors say it's hard work. Well, yeah, that's their job. But the truth is, if you love that person, here's the thing. It's not even about love, to tell you the truth. It's if you want to be with that person, it's not hard. Love comes. Love is there, absolutely. Because I'll tell you the truth, I wasn't in love with my husband when I married him. Nope. He loved me. He loved me more than I've ever known anybody to love me. I had a hard time loving because I didn't know how. Okay? I didn't even know what it was. He helped me learn that. But I wanted to be with him. You see, it wasn't hard. And with the Lord, wow, with the Lord, God gave us the ability to be together. I remembered one of the things that Tom said one time. So when we got married, I'm just going to tell you a little bit here. When we got married, he had lived on his parents' property, helping his dad, who had a heart attack. So he was taking care of some family issues. He had a trailer on the property, and that's where he lived when I met him. When we were together, and he sold it. He sold it and bought me this wedding ring. He always says that my house is on your finger. Okay. Well, about a year, not even a year within the marriage, he said, Linda, if I would have known how things were, I would have moved back into my house. But I sold it. There's no place for me to go. So see, God worked it all out. At first it was hard. It was hard because I didn't want to be there. I wanted to marry somebody that was rich and famous, a movie star. But every time I'd pick somebody, it would be wrong. Okay. So finally, myself, I submitted to God. I said, okay, Lord, what do you want? And he said, Tom. All right. So a lot of you probably got married. You were deathly in love with each other. Well, that wasn't the case for me. I grew to love him like I've never loved in my life. I didn't even know what love was, to tell you the truth. That's why I couldn't at the beginning. I couldn't, you know what? I didn't even love myself. So how do I love anybody else if I didn't love myself? And during that first 13 years. I finally got it. Took 13 years. It sounds like Joseph. Wasn't Joseph in bondage for 13 years? Anyway, for 13 years, I remembered waking up in the morning and going, Tom, I get it. I get it. I'm free. God is, oh, this is awesome. I'm happy. You know what he says to me? It was worth the wait. Now, I'm telling you, that's a man who knows how to love. And he even told me one time, don't mistake my love for weakness. He's very wise. He was 10 years older than me, yet he lived life hard. He lived a hard life. But he learned how to love. And he loved me greatly. But I just wanted to share a little bit about our wedding day with you, because I remember it like yesterday. You know, I was reading today about getting old, and Tom and I would say stuff like, why do we have to get old? I mean, why does our skin have to go funky? And why do we have to have gray hair? I mean, why do we have to get old? I said, Lord, why do we have to grow old, you know? And today I read a scripture and it says, you're going to get old, you're going to waste away, but you are going to continue to grow stronger. Your inner man's going to grow stronger. And that's exactly what's happened. God does not lie. My inner man, the person inside of me, has grown into more love, kindness. My husband is growing to, he's teaching me how to love. He loves me more even. He's growing in love. He's growing in kindness with people. I mean, we're evolving, okay? Every day, God evolves us into something better, because we want to be like Jesus. We want to be more like him in every way. And as a couple, we're able to do it together, grow together, build one another up. When he's sick, I take care of him. When I'm sick, he takes care of me. I had to take him to the hospital a couple of times here recently. And I would just get him in there and take him. I mean, that's my job. I love him. I want to take care of my husband. When I needed help, he's there. He's picking me up off the ground when I can't walk or my back's out. Weird. You know what? We've lived a married life. We really have. And I am so grateful to the Lord for letting me have this opportunity to live this kind of life, because both of us at one time were homeless. Both of us had experienced our homes being burnt down to the ground. Both of us have gone through things in relationships with people. But God allowed us to reconnect. You know, I met him when I was 14 years old. I married him when I was 32. But I met him when I was 14. He was my karate instructor. And of course, he's 24 at the time, and there was no getting connected there. But I met him when I was 14. And then over the years, we would run into each other. Is that not God? And then at the end, we get married. And get this. This is what's interesting. Don't think you're too old for anything, because Tom was 42 years old when he began his career with the corrections department. He did 20 years in corrections. He started at 42. So nothing is too late. Nothing is too old. Nothing is too far gone. I mean, he can even go to college today if he wants. He's 80. He can start going to college today if he wants to. Do you know that Moses began to lead the people out of the Egypt at 80? We're in good company here. We're in good company. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about our anniversary today. We're so happy to be in each other's lives, and we have grandchildren. I have a son. I had a son before we got married. This is just interesting. I have to share this with you real quickly. He knew Jason when he was 2 years old. That's how long I've known Tom. Jason was 2 years old, and he treated him with such love. And then he disappeared. 5 years later, I'd see him again. 5 years later, I'd see him again. And finally, 32 years old, I said, Lord, I'm done. I've gone through so much. There's so much guys, marriage. I've been through too much. I'm done. I don't want to see anybody else. I don't want to get married again. I'm used up. And I heard the Lord say, no, there's one more person. There's one person that I've been holding on to. I've been waiting for you to be ready. I needed you to get to the end of yourself. Oh. And it reminded me of Tom. The interesting part is I had his phone number where he used to work, where I met him when I was 14 years old. Those many years ago. And I called that karate school, Way of Japan, and he was still there. Now get this part. A week later, it closes. Oh my goodness. It stayed open all these years just for me and Tom to get connected again. If that ain't God, I'm telling you, I don't know what is. It just increases my faith every day. Well, I hope that increases your faith to know that it's never too late. Marriage is not hard when you really like each other, when you want to be with each other. And the blessings that follow are tremendous. I can't even tell you how many blessings we've received from the Lord. Well, that's it for today. Our anniversary is for today. He's taking me to dinner. I'm going to go see a friend today this morning before I get my day started. And all is well. It hasn't been easy in the world, but it's been easy with my husband. Well, God bless you. Until next time.